Hey, what's up, everybody?
Welcome back
Back to discuss the latest episode of The Curse
of Oak Island.
There you go. You happy now?
I am.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about Season 8, Episode 19.
19 episodes? Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know if it's actually 19 episodes. I think
how many episodes do they usually do per season?
I don't know. I don't know how many they do.
I
always lose count because sometimes the episode numbers don't exactly match up.
Oh.
You know, like I'm sure, you know, it doesn't go like 1, 2, 3, 4. Usually it kind of goes up weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this one was more of the same. But they were between drilling more holes where the money pit is and digging more of the swamp. And didn't they do something else? Or was it just those two things?
No, that's it. That's all they did.
I thought they were doing something else.
Well, they were washing those rocks or whatever.
That was they're washing the spores from the drilling they were doing in
from E. I don't even know a number. It's like 4.5.
Yeah, something like that. They found what they thought was not a cannonball, but like a lead ball or something. I forget the name. There was
it's from like
a certain type of gun that has a large, the barrel is large. It's kind of so it was previous to the shotgun being invented.
It's like if you ever seen like I don't know, Pirates of the Caribbean have that weapon.
I don't know.
It's usually like if you watch an old pirate movie.
Yeah.
They usually have weapons like that. You know, they shows the gun and it like shoots out musket balls or cannonballs out of it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of like
it was a weird looking gun. It was a weird looking ball they found. They found the spores from when they were drilling. And of course, from drilling, they found more wood, so they still believe that they're on top of the tunnel. That there was the previous searchers were, digging to try to get to the money pit. And just to clarify, I know somebody questioned in our last video about how we keep commenting on how we think they should dig down, which I believe they should, but I don't think they should dig down. They don't just go in there with an excavator and just, dig like crazy, because obviously that's unsafe, it's dangerous. But with those, they had those large cans, like they even showed one in this episode, and I think they said they were 5 foot in diameter, something like that. And even they could go down rather deep. And if they were to use excavator, the area had to be, they would have to put walls up as they were digging down to keep it safe. You can't just go digging the holes. Somebody's going to get hurt and killed or whatever. You can't just be dangerous like that. So I wasn't just saying, dig like crazy and, who cares about safety. And I understand it's 80 feet down, 90 feet down. That's a long ways to go. But there's going to be some way that they can dig in a larger area so to be able to actually see what's under them. It said there's little holes, that they're showing they're actually on top of something as they keep bringing up wood, even though they keep moving over further and further. So hopefully maybe next season, because that's why I think they don't have the large Kansas right now, is because of the pandemic and they weren't able to get them. So by the time they get them now, the season will pretty much be over for them digging, because I know it gets cold there or whatever. So maybe next year they'll be doing that, I'm assuming, because they need to be able to have a large area. They even send a scuba diver down in one of these holes when they use those cans. It goes this large area.
Yeah. So
because it'll probably be cool to find something, because they find all this wood, so they must be on top of something. That's why I look, and they keep finding. I think it's a tunnel from previous searches. I don't know if it's actually the money pit. Who knows? It could be pretty much anything that's under there. It could just be a tunnel, and those searchers found nothing. So it might be a tunnel that goes to nowhere, and they might not ever find any kind of real money pit. As far as the swamp goes, I thought that was kind of cool. They're still trying to figure which way the roads go. And would they find some ceramic?
Oh, I talk about some of the discoveries they made. They found this. They called it the stone cellar, and they them. They think theoretically they think, oh, it's treasure. There's coins
then it could have just been like if it is some kind of a cellar or previous structure or something. It might have been like a root cellar or something to put dry goods in, so just for storage. They automatically just go to which was Rick. Oh, it could be treasure. Like that's their mind automatically goes to treasure instead of thinking logically. Like it's like, well, if they wouldn't hide their treasure in their house, it would hide it here. Well, a structure's a structure. I mean, if it's next to the house, why wouldn't they be looking this other structure for for treasure or whatever?
Yeah, you kind of got a point there.
I mean, so it's I think he's trying to justify thinking that it's treasure instead of just thinking it could be anything. It could have been food storage. It could have been them using a root cellar. It could have been pretty much anything. And but always assume that it's going to be treasure is a little silly, because they haven't found any treasure this season. I say they found a lot of stuff, whether it be the different axe handles or axe heads or those what they call ring bolts. They found buttons and some other stuff, ceramics. What else did they found? I'm trying to remember.
What, throughout the season or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, God, there's so many episodes.
Yeah, they found ox shoes. I mean, and they keep going like that guy Carmen Lane and find stuff. So they found a lot of stuff this season. That's been pretty cool because it's been found all over the island.
Yeah.
And they just haven't found any treasure yet, so to speak. They haven't found any gold, treasure that they think was brought there on a ship and hidden there or whatever. But overall, it's been a pretty interesting season, anyways. I'm hoping eventually that they find something major. I think it's going to be interesting to find out what this hole was that what's the guy's name? The guy's name was John, right? John, I forget what his last name was. One of the people who were digging, they found that hole, and maybe Rick's right. Maybe there is treasure in there. I don't know, but I'm guessing it wasn't for treasure. It might have been for something else. But still, it would be interesting if there's something in this that would show who put this there. Like, what is it? Is it maybe hopefully it's somebody that's marked, so who put it there, and why it would be there. So that'd be really interesting to find that out. I'm hoping it's not just a small area that's empty and there's nothing in it. That'd be disappointment.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't know.
Sorry, I was talking like that.
No, I didn't know if you were continuing or not. No, I mean, another thing too, they saw when they were digging this, oh my God, what do they call it? The cavity or whatever, isn't that what they called it?
Yeah.
They noticed the soil was darker, which basically means that the previous searchers or whoever it might be threw the soil there on purpose and not by accident. Like they threw it there to cover something up or to hide something. But I mean, it could be anything. I mean, who knows? It could have been, like you said, it could have been a food storage. It could have been used for maybe hiding weapons.
Yeah, I was gonna say it could be used for hiding weapons or clothing.
But you can't automatically just say, yeah, they hid it for treasure. It's like, first of all, how do you know that?
I always think everything's treasures. I think that's kind of funny.
But they say that, and sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. It just
it could be. I just think it's kind of amusing.
And then they had a meeting in the war room. So this guy, do you know what his name is?
Which guy referring to?
The guy who was trying his theory about.
He was referring to that.
He claims that FDR, the former president of the United States, and I think he said his nephew.
They're related. I forget who he was talking about. He was talking about the Freemasons, and they also had this flag that looked a lot like the flag of the Knights Templar. So,
in which that flag was originated from the Plymouth colony, also known as Plymouth, Massachusetts.
And the guy was one of the people who discovered Nova Scotia. Was also part of something to do with the Plymouth colonies.
Alexander was his name, the king or whatever at the time. They said he was involved. He also said FDR was involved, and I think it was FDR's nephew or grandfather or someone.
Because he was saying they're part of the Freemasons.
Yeah, so he was saying that they all had.
They found these triangles the letter G, which means God, different places on the island. So
yeah.
So
I mean, it's hard to tell if like his theory is right on, but it is a pretty good and interesting theory because I mean, like did FDR, was he a part of this? Is all everyone knows about FDR, he was obviously a politician. He was the former president, served 3 terms.
Yeah, they're saying it was before he was president that he was involved in this, possibly.
But there's no confirmation throughout his history to validate this claim that he was involved in this. But, if it is true that he was involved, there is evidence suggesting he was involved and the other people he was talking about, then it's definitely a major, major discovery for the team. And
yeah, but I don't think they're going to find anything that's going to actually link. That guy was, it was a pretty good story, but there's really no actual proof of FDR being involved. He was saying that how the guy from Plymouth was involved with the Freemasons at some point. He was, I don't know, it was really kind of hard to follow his story, and I don't know if I necessarily believe that FDR.
However, they did. What did they find? They found something that sort of makes his theory actually true. What was it they found? Do you remember what it was? They found something that basically sort of confirmed the guy's theory. They found something. Trying to think, top of my head.
I don't remember which thing you were referring to.
They found something, or they were talking about something that basically confirms his theory. I don't know. It's like a 50-minute episode. There's a lot there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you know what, dude? Right after, we'll go back and watch it, and then when we talk about next week's episode, we'll confirm it.
Because I think the guy was just a story. I think he was saying that there's a possibility that the Freemasons, FDR, the guy who discovered Nova Scotia, was also had something to do with Plymouth Colony. So there's this big thing to try to get people to associate it with each other, and it was almost like conspiracy theory. So I don't know if I believe the guy's story or not, but he's a historian, not us, so we really have no idea.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we'll watch it again to confirm it to next week, because I'm trying to remember everything from this episode, especially that guy's story. He was kind of,
rambling on.
Yeah, he went on and on. It was kind of hard to remember everything he said.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it is a good theory, but I mean, it's just hard, to say, okay, you know what, FDR and all these people were involved. Like, it's just hard to, the one where it's talking about Plymouth and the flag, that sort of makes sense to me. Like, okay, that might actually be a thing, but bringing in Franklin Roosevelt and these people, that's like, it's like, is it true? Is it not?
Right.
But maybe as the episodes go on, or how many's left.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stories over the season. People have told that their theories or stories or what they've heard or read.
Yeah.
But most of it has never been confirmed. So I think that's going to do it. I mean, that's just pretty much all that happened in this episode.
Well, we forgot to talk about the preview for next week, what they were showing. So it looks like another meeting in the war room. It looks like Craig Tester, who is the was he, like a scientist?
He's one of their partners.
Yeah, so he was about to reveal a date for something. I think it was that cannonball they found. I think
it could be,
but he didn't say what date it was. So it looks like they'll show that. Then it looks like they're finding more stuff in the swamp in that attic or whatever the heck they call it, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Looks like they found some more, something in there.
Yeah.
And it looks like Gary found something with his famous metal detector.
Right.
So next week episode should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, so if you guys want to tune into next week, we'll be sure to make another review for that episode as well. And that's up to the new episode next week. I never know if they can. Usually, some episodes can kind of get moved around. So I believe there's a new episode next week. So if there is, you guys can tune in for that one.
Yeah, there should be a new one because it normally that's how it airs.
Right, but sometimes they skip a week.
Yeah, sometimes they do.
So we'll find out.
Yeah.
So if you guys like this video, if you guys want to give us a subscribe, I really appreciate you guys tuning in to watch. As always,
hit that like and subscribe.
Until next time.